For a closer look at China's fight against poverty is Tang Min. He is the vice chair of the Poverty Alleviation Committee and chairman of the Youcheng Foundation. So less than 2 months to go till the end of the year. How close is China to reaching this massive goal, and what more needs to be done?
Okay, I would say it's very, very close. Recently, I visited many places. I find out most of all those places are already out of poverty. We count the counties out of poverty. Maybe still very remote areas still have a small group of people now still working on that. But by the end of this year, we still have 2 months to go, and it's very likely we will all out of poverty. This is the first time in 5,000 years Chinese history, and the whole country, everybody out of what we call the absolute poverty. And there are very small number of people, maybe the family have a very sick, or maybe some reasons. We have what we call the minimum living standard supporting system. For those small group of people, they were counted in this minimum living standard supporting system. Then government will give money every month to them.
And you look at the numbers. I mean, no country has done anything like this, has even come close. But looking back, what do you say is the toughest challenge, or what are some of the toughest challenges that China has faced in eradicating extreme poverty?
Right. I would say that first, if you count for 40 years opening up reform period, and China, majority of people out of is under poverty line. Even in past 7 years, we still have 90 million people below poverty line. And by the end, this is all 90 million people out of poverty. And this poverty, we would call the multi-dimension poverty, not only income level, also we said that they should have enough food, enough clothing, and the kids guaranteed they have to go to at least finish 9 years compulsory education, and they should have, whole family should have a medical insurance. Also, they were living in a safe housing. We have a third party to evaluation family by family. If all pass, that means out of poverty. If still have a problem, a local government and the poverty programs to help them. So I would say that it's really very serious program. But in future, it's not out of poverty, what we call the absolute poverty. In future, we still have relative poverty. Again, this is a big challenge. Secondly, for those 90 million people, they're out of poverty, but still very vulnerable. And if the weather conditions bad, if some disasters, they will fall back to poverty. So what we call the consolidating for poverty achievement, that's again next 5 years become a very major program.
And you know, the world is still in the middle of this coronavirus pandemic. How has COVID-19 impacted this goal, or has it made it harder to accomplish?
Right, at the very beginning, it really have a serious impact. Two things. Number one, those farmers, because a majority of income come from those farmers who move to the urban area, work in the urban area, we call the rural migrants. But when your COVID-19 coming up and the whole country locked, they cannot go to an urban area, cannot make money. This is number one. Number two is they have farm product. The country locked, they cannot sell to the urban area. So these two things, fortunately, and COVID-19 pandemic very quickly were controlled by in the country, and then everything moving back soon. Now all those poverty problems is not have a big problem, but occasionally one area or two areas that were have some poverty pandemic, and they will control very quickly, and supporting system right away come to that place.
All right, Mr. Tang Min, thank you so much for joining us from Beijing.